Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're playing CANIDAE. This is a game where apparently throughout the night our friends start getting stranger and stranger and get more aggressive and violent. And the tagline is, will we be able to keep our humanity? Without further ado, let's hop straight into it. I try to flick the lighter again, getting more and more desperate now. I can feel their eyes on me as I fail again to light the fuse, my hands starting to shake. Picturing the scowl on Red's face, I flick it harder and lit. I quickly hold it against the fuse as it snakes up the length faster than I was expecting. Remembering my fear of the explosion, I scramble to my feet and run towards them. Clambering noisily to the bushes, I can see Blue perched on a rock and Red leaning against a tree. I don't have time to apologise as I hear the crackling start behind me. Plumes of smoke erupt out of the rocket and the noises get louder and louder and louder until a few sparks sprinkle to the ground, but the rocket doesn't even fire, it's a dud. I start to feel their eyes on me again. Red sighs dramatically. Man, seriously? I turn around to face him, my chest constricting as I realise how much I've fucked it up. You swore up and down to me that this would be the best way to start the night. You made us watch this instead of going over to Liam's. He breathes in heavily through his mask, the dark eye holes making it impossible to read his expression. I can tell he's becoming furious. He starts to fiddle with his bat. Listen man, I'm so sorry. Sean told me how good these were gonna be and I really believed him. I wanted to impress you. There's still the rest of Halloween. I take it we're green then. And why is our friend so mad over just fireworks not lighting off? Like, you can just go to your friend's house anyway. It's not a big deal. His posture changes as I start to grovel, I was gonna say. Relaxing the white knuckle grip on his bat. I know it still won't be good enough. I look over at Blue for support and he just stares back, oddly still. I'll do whatever you want for the rest of the night to make it up. I promise I won't pussy out like with Ed. Red barks out a short laugh at that, back to lazing against the tree trunk. Blue huffs, then starts to root around in his bag, gripping something. They don't seem like very good friends, I can't lie. Like, they should not be being this hostile. I'm gonna make you regret that promise, run. Like, who fucking speaks to their friends like this? It more seems like we're being bullied. Besides, you already owe me. If the night is going to improve after that, let's go. Any ideas of what to subject him to, Blue? Yeah, these are not our friends. In the description it said they were, but definitely not. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean, any idea of what to subject him to? My chest starts to tighten again, knowing exactly what Blue considers a fun use of his free time. I used to catch him pulling the limbs of bugs when we were younger, not knowing he graduated to something stronger. Ugh. Until I found the mice in his room. I've been meaning to. Wait, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the run to get back at Sean for his shitty fireworks. A rock through his window, maybe? I start to breathe again, realizing I'm not going to be subjected to whatever Blue was thinking of. My stomach sinks the second I realize what I'll be doing instead. But wait, I don't know if he deserves... You said anything to make it better, right? This is anything. Sean has deserved it ages before this. Remember when he stole Liam's bike and wouldn't admit to it? A rock is getting off lightly. Red starts to saunter in the direction of Sean's house, and I scramble up behind him. Feeling a prickling in my neck, I turn around and spot Blue still stood behind us. He's staring up at the moon heavy in the sky. I look a little closer, but then he seems to snap out of it and turn towards me. I scratch the skin under my thick mask, trying to focus on him. Yeah, I don't know if I remember to say, but this is set on Halloween, and that's why they're all dressed up and stuff. A funny feeling starts to form in the back of my mind, like we're somehow making eye contact underneath our masks, even though I can't make out his face. Hurry up! Jesus, you too scared of the dark or something? Blue looks back at the road, straightening up and beginning to amble towards us. I realise how long I've been frozen watching him and scurry back in Red's direction. Red snickers at his own joke loudly and I try to relax again. It feels like we've walked for ages by the time we arrived on Sean Street. Probably more like 10 minutes though. The dread in the pit of my stomach has only strengthened over the walk. Every trick-or-treater we walk by makes me feel worse. A family passes by me, and I suddenly realise how public this is going to be on a day where everyone is outside. The dread solidifies further. In contrast, Red whistles cheerily next to me, the shaggy wolf's head he's wearing muffling it into an ominous tune. Blue stalks behind us, breathing heavily. It sounds like somehow he's finished running a marathon. Red jauntily raises his bat up to the house, like some kind of circus ringleader. Well, here we are. Looks empty, so try not to shit yourself. He turns around suddenly, surveying the nearby houses. Spotting something he likes, he wanders over to a crumbling brick wall across the street. He kicks harshly at it, old brick showering across the path. Reaching down, he dislodges a large chunk. Here you are, runt. With that big a target, you shouldn't be able to miss. Yeah, alright, well, can one of you guys watch out for trick-or-treaters? Are you sure there's nobody here? You scared of kids, man? Jesus, just throw the fucking thing. Get his bedroom window if you can manage it. I want him to know. I don't know about this. Why don't we just... You said you were gonna do anything, and you will, or tonight is gonna get much worse. Yeah, but if you have to ruin it, I'll have to make you regret it. He's stalking towards me, waving his bat madly. I feel like I'm speaking to an alien. He's a dick, sure, but now he's more like a man possessed. Step back, feeling myself start to hyperventilate. A large shape appears next to his bat, gripping it firmly enough that his waving stops instantly. I realise it's Blue as Red lets out a snarl in surprise. Get the fuck off me, man. He tries to whirl on him, but an inhuman roar rips through the night atmosphere. Red nearly drops the brick clutched in his other hand. I realised it had come from Blue. Hey, whoa, alright. Just throw the goddamn thing, okay? It's like he's been sedated. Blue releases the bat and Red's arm flops lazily down to his side. Blue looks at me and nods. Okay, I'm doing it, I'll throw. There's a rush of bile in my throat as I look away, incapable of processing whatever I'd just seen. I'm thinking, I raise the brick, breathe in, and throw. The glass shatters, pouring into the bedroom. Abruptly, I realise I can breathe again and take the deep gulps of the night air. Red jumps up, hooting enthusiastically at the destruction. Click. Shit, let's go! I take off sprinting down the road, footsteps pounding behind me. My lungs start to burn, but I keep pushing until the world around me starts to get blurrier. I can feel my heart beating out my chest, deafening me. Finally, I stumble up against the house and stop to rest. God. What's so funny, man? Jesus, can't believe he was there. God, that makes up for the firework. But what if we're wearing masks? Relax. Red's attempted comfort does not make me feel better. I don't think he was trying to comfort you. I think he was just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Haha, type of thing. Like, he doesn't care as long as he doesn't get caught. I feel like the world is closing in on me. Can you imagine the look on his face? Probably just woke him up from a fucking nap. Jesus. That, or he was wanking in the dark. That sets him off into further peals of laughter clutching his chest. Slowly, the world around me starts to right itself again. That's a new best from you. Blue is looking down at me, his whole body curled up against the wall but somehow still towering over. Hey, yeah, that definitely beats stealing a pint from the pub. Red punches me in the shoulder and I start to laugh with him, admittedly pretty amused by the idea of Sean's reaction. God. My turn to be compensated for the fireworks? I peer up at Blue, suddenly remembering what had just happened between him and Red and what I promised. My heart drops. You know, if they were decent friends, they would just be like, oh, that sucks, guess we'll find something else to do, or we'll go find more fireworks, or something like that. Not, let's throw bricks through windows and shout at each other and just overall be very odd. Why not? Let's see if we can really make him braver, right? It feels like Red doesn't even remember what had only just transpired between them, back to working together to torment me. Maybe we could do something more Halloween-y now, right? I have something in mind. I take a deep breath, suddenly regretting it as I notice a putrid smell wafting on the breeze. I recoil slightly, then try to conceal my reaction as I realise the scent is coming from Blue. Ugh. He's not the kind of person who normally smells, well, good, but this is a lot even for him. Yeah, why? No, you shouldn't be smelling like you're rotting, bro. That's weird as fuck. He reaches into his bag and pulls out a small shoebox discoloured and torn. The smell gets considerably worse as he holds it out towards me. There better not be a damn animal that's dead in there. I have a feeling it's going to be though. It smells sweet in the most sickening possible sense. I resist the urge to gag as I picture whatever could be inside. Red reaches over, trying to grab the box from his hands, but Blue quickly moves it from his reach. Dude, what the fuck is in there? It smells worse than when my cousin left a plate of rotting eggs in my room. You can't open it because it's not for you. Man, tell me there's not anything fucked up in there. Red shifts onto his back foot before turning away slightly. Actually, I think you'll appreciate this when you know the recipient. Red inclines his head back in Blue's direction, encouraging him to keep speaking. I made it for Jack. Red stops shifting around and suddenly goes completely still. I can't believe this is being brought up. What happened with Jack happened long before I was involved, but I've gotten the sense it was pretty serious. He used to be a good friend of Red's and was dating Red's sister, but from what I know, the relationship got pretty fucked up. I've also gotten the sense he's a terrifying guy. God, seriously? We're having revenge tonight, and he deserves it. You know it. All we have to do is get Green to leave this for him. I remember my place in all this, and I snap back into reality. I really don't want to be involved in one of Blue's schemes. The way he's acting makes me feel like I'm going to be starring in some crime documentary a year from now. Red clearly notices he's lost control of the night, and I can see him trying to rally himself in my peripheral vision. Well, I won't say no to that. He deserves it, and it'll make this one less useless for sure. He slaps me on the shoulder, but his enthusiasm rings completely hollow. It's not hard to see his heart isn't in it. Still, it's much harder to get out of this now he's approved. Listen, I get what you're doing, but I don't think I can do this without knowing what's in that box. I look over at Red for support, but he doesn't seem to be paying me any attention, scuffing his boot against the pavement. Not until you put it there. Come on, why not? No, you can see it if you do it. I hold his gaze for a very tense couple of seconds. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what is probably in that box. His experiments flash in my mind, and I can feel myself becoming even more aware of the smell. Inclining my head up at him, I swear I can see the snout on his mask curling up into a snarl. Jumping, I push myself backwards against the wall and look again, but his mask is completely the same as it was before. Slowly, he pushes the cardboard box in my hands, no reaction at all to me nearly jumping out of my skin. He swivels on his foot and starts striding off down the street, Red reproachfully following behind. He's hunched over more, boots dragging loudly as he walks. You could get the impression he had just woken up if it wasn't for his bat. Even in the darkness, I could see him gripping it tightly, the veins on his arm prominent from the force. Eventually, I start to trail behind, actively trying to not look at the box in my hands. Yeah, I don't know what kind of fucked up thing we're holding, but I can imagine it's some type of Toy Story, Sid merged together animal type of situation. It dawns on me that Blue prepared whatever I'm holding long before our plans got derailed, which means he was going to do something fucked up to this guy anyway. Revenge is clearly not a motive for him. Thinking about that just makes me feel even sicker, so I try to focus on the Halloween decorations. Jack's house turns out to be pretty close, Blue having led us there. Luckily, it's getting pretty late now, and there seem to be less families about. I trudge along with the group before Rose suddenly swings his bat out to his side, blocking me from walking. Oh, what? Don't get any closer, his lights are on. His earlier cheery demeanour is completely gone as he scans the house. There's an alley round the back that leads straight to his garden. Just turn right and hop over the second fence, that's his. I really do not like how quickly this is escalating. I should have dealt with this guy a long time ago. Red's mood shift is also not helping, as I imagine if he lingers here much longer, he might actually get to use his bat. I realise I need to just get this over with, but I just can't. Guys, this is just... this is crazy, yeah? Stop being a little fucking weasel, alright? Aren't you supposed to be a coyote tonight? I had forgotten how quick he had been to fly off the handle earlier, but watching him turn on me so fast, I realised how much more unstable he seems. I can't even bear to look at Blue, knowing he orchestrated all of this beforehand. Alright, first turn on the right, yeah? Blue just nods affirmatively. I don't want to know why he knows this. Stumbling into the alley, I realise the stench of the box is only getting worse. I gag a little, but try to quieten myself as I get closer. Shuddering, I realise I could have just left it in the alley, or find some bin for it. There's no reason to get arrested doing Blue's weird shit when he'll never know otherwise. As I look into the alley, my eyes are drawn upwards to the sky. A horrible shiver goes up my spine as I look at the moon, surprisingly large among the stars. The feeling that something is deeply wrong fills my chest, but the moonlight is relaxing. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if we don't do it, he's gonna find out somehow, so... What a horrible situation to be put in. My legs start to move of their own accord, and I realise I'm gonna fulfill Blue's task anyway. The fence stretches out before me, and I reach up to grasp the top, hauling myself ungracefully up and over. I land with more of a thump than I would have liked in his garden, urgently trying to assess my surroundings. It's a pretty disgusting garden, patches of grass wilting and piles of rotting wooden furniture laying in corners. Nearer to the door lies a large wire cage among various clothes that have clearly fallen off the washing lines and just been left in the dirt. Why is there a large wire cage in his garden? A bit odd, but okay. Hearing movement on the other side of the fence, I remember the situation I'm in. I scramble up to the back door and quickly lay the box down, pausing as I grip the lid. Is that a dog? Oh, it's a rabbit? What, does it like not have ears? I don't see them anyway. Rabbit? It's clearly been skinned. Oh, that's why. It's clearly been skinned and left to sit in this box for who knows how long, congealed blood coating this inside. Did he have a pet? Did that used to be his rabbit? A wave of nausea hits me faster than I can process it, and I pry off my mask before vomiting into the grass. I feel dizzy as I look up again, trying to contain my retching. Fuck. I try not to think about the implications of what I'm looking at and turn away from it, back towards the fence. I grasp it again, hop, and nearly fall flat onto the ground on the other side. Breathing deeply, I wipe up my eyes under the mask and try to pick myself back up. I lean heavily against the wall for a second, my legs not willing to cooperate. I'm not in the garden anymore, but I'm still too close by as I hasten to my feet and drag myself onto the street. I avert my gaze as I approach them. I can't bear it. Right, let's go. I hear Red moving away from us and I try to shadow him, bringing my breathing back to normal level. A hand grips my shoulder and I hear mocking laughter from over it. Hey, it will get a reaction. He's too close to me and I can't even stomach a nod to the affirmative. I swallow. So, we have one friend who's just super violent, and the other who's a literal psychopath who skins animals for fun. You gotta tell me what was in that box, seriously. I tilt my head lopsidedly up at him, trying to focus on the words. It was my plan, I'll tell you. I did say you'd be impressed. Red stands at attention, clearly hating the suspense. I remember you mentioning he had a rabbit. He thinks it went missing 6 days ago. He'll know where it went now. And this is so... That's so fucked up on so many different levels. The world feels like it goes out from under me as I watch Red's reaction. His shoulders tense up again even further, then they drop, then they tense again. He looks away wildly and then looks back. His rabbit. His back starts to move at his side, twitching as he shakes. That goddamn rabbit. My sister loved that thing, you sick fuck. What the hell is wrong with you? He snarls and I swear I see a flash of yellow in the eye holes of his mask, a wolf staring back at me. All at once he leaps at Blue, bat raised over his head. I throw myself out of the way as Blue grasps him mid-air and their bodies colliding as they both tumble to the floor. Hey, stop! I feel like I'm watching something more animal than human, bodies and matted fur roiling in constant motion. Red quickly lifts his bat and swings, Blue's head snapping to the side with force. He goes limp for a second before surging back to life, kicking at him. Red raises his arms to strike at him again, but Blue roars and throws himself upwards. Rolling over, he uses his sheer size to pin Red beneath him. I should step in, but I can't breathe. He grips Red's mask, slamming his head down into the pavement with incredible brutality. And again. And again. Holy shit. I am helping you, you idiot. Have you done anything to him this whole time? Get your own revenge. The light goes out of Red's eyes. The formerly primal energy seems to dissolve instantly. They look almost comical on the ground, two men in Halloween masks wrestling each other on the grass. I can't believe how different it seemed just a second before. Blue gets off of him, wiping at the grass stains on his trousers like he's been mildly inconvenienced. I can't move. She loved that thing. Red lays there limply for a second before climbing roughly to his feet and steadying himself. I'm gonna go get a drink. I need a beer, just stay here. He turns to me, holding my gaze for what feels like an eternity. He starts to limp away from us, but speeds up the further he gets until he's running full speed around the corner. I realize how he's left me, alone with him. I turn away from Blue, trying to process everything that just happened. The moon is unnaturally large in the sky, hanging ominously over us. I stare at it, trying to imagine it as some kind of cosmic paradise I could escape to. As I gaze at it, my vision starts to fuzz at the corners. I feel as if I can see Red's bat raised upwards as he gets ready to strike. I see Blue and his experiments, mice rotting in their cage. I feel an overwhelming pressure building in my chest, a rage filling me up and threatening to spill over. Every time Red has screamed at me, every time I've seen Blue perform some sick stunt, everything I've seen tonight. Staring at the milky surface of the moon, I see all the violence I could inflict back on them, all the pain. Blue crunches through the grass to me, snapping me out of my thoughts. The second I look away from the moon, the cacophony inside my head grows quiet, but an incredible yearning to look back blossoms in its place. Blue is looking up at the same view. Blue. I'm not really thinking as I speak, a strange confidence coming over me. What? Let him be the crybaby for the night. I cough and stare down at the grass, the breeze starting to chill me through my costume. You can't fucking attack each other. It isn't right. I have no idea how I'm doing this. He flicks his gaze over to me, annoyance starting to show in his stance. You'll notice, he was the one to attack me. Am I supposed to not defend myself? There's an incredible threat in his tone now. You knew what you were doing. I've known you long enough to be sure that you knew exactly what you were doing with Red and that poor fucking rabbit. His head really flicks to me this time, and before I know it, he slammed me back against the fence. Ugh! I choke out as he pins me against it, one hand on my neck and the other gripping my left arm. You are a coward. Grow up. He squeezes harder. I pinwheel my legs around in an attempt to kick at him, but he's too strong. I did it because he deserves it. You think I care about, what, our personal bond? I scratch at his hold with my other arm, cringing away from his rancid breath. I wanted a reaction out of him, and I got it. You get so upset over what happens to a bunch of animals, but you don't realise. He slams me back into the fence again. You're both mice in the cage, you're just the more pathetic one. One of my kicks finally connects a little harder, his knee buckling under him. I try to dive away, but he's still latched onto my arm and he pulls himself down on top of me, snarling. I cringe from the punch, my head snapping against concrete. Look at me, look at me! He grasps the snout of my mask and pulls it around, facing directly towards him. My head throbs from his attacks, but as my eyes focus in, I see he's not human anymore. His mask has come alive, the formerly dark eye holes illuminated by piercing yellow gaze. He snarls louder, his canine shining in the light of a street lamp. I can feel claws digging into the flesh of both of my arms. Ah! It's almost like he's trying to speak to me, a twisted growl fighting its way out instead. Suddenly, I see the moon over his shoulder, my vision sharpening to a point. I twist it and kick, sending him toppling over my side. I clamber to my feet and kick at his torso, only vaguely hearing the sound of my own snarling as I strike again and again. Stepping back, I feel a deep wrongness within myself. His crumpled form lays beneath me, chest heaving as he takes in deep gulps of breath. I mean, he deserves it. Like, you can't just steal people's fucking pets, skin them for fun, just to get a reaction out of your friend and the person you don't. I know it's a person you don't like, but that's just way too far. It's too fucking sick to do to someone. I realise I want to kill him. Ooh. Embrace it, embrace it, embrace it, embrace it, or fight back. So we have two endings here, I see. Okay. We'll fight back this time. I resist the boiling anger rising within me, reaching up and grasping my mask. I feel hot and claustrophobic, running out of this stupid costume as quickly as possible. A hissing noise fills my head, growing louder as I dig my fingers into the greasy fabric. It grows in volume and I can feel my legs starting to shake. I pull and fresh air pours in. The glow of the moon no longer seems inviting but revolting. I look down at Blue's damaged form and it feels as if a miasma is surrounding him. The air is charged as I approached him, whatever was influencing me clearly having seeped deep into his body. His heavy breathing sounds more like a growling and I see his chest rising and falling rapidly. I don't know whether to run, to wait, or to try helping him. I've seen him be fucking cruel, but I never imagined he would attack one of us. As I crouch there, he starts to change. A twitch starts in Blue's leg, looking almost like a dog trying to scratch itself. Suddenly, a sickening crunch rings out. Ah! I fall back and scrape my hands across the tarmac as he starts wildly twisting around. The screaming coming from him is nothing like I've ever heard, and there are horrible deep crunches emanating with it. As he kicks his leg out, his boot comes flying off, revealing a clawed foot. A deep sickness forms in my gut and I crawl over trying to pin the lower half of his body. I'm not sure what I'm even trying to achieve, but the horror in my stomach spurs me on. He catches me with a claw as I fell again to grasp him at the knee, his form smaller than I expected. Something crunches again, louder this time. If I couldn't hear his body, I would think he was having a seizure. This is clearly much worse than that. I finally pin his lower body, something in his torso shuddering as I do. Is he turning into a werewolf? I look up and see him clawing at his mask, inhuman hands tearing into himself. All at once it hits me. The mask! He keeps thrashing, no indication that he can hear at all. I realise I need to get it off him and fast before his body deforms further. I reach over trying to grasp at his head, but he twists it back and forth ceaselessly. I gasp at his fist connects with my abdomen, feeling winded as I try not to fall off him. As something snaps beneath me, I surge upwards, hands reaching wildly. Reaching and got. I grasp the snout of the mask and pull up, twisting. There's more resistance than I expected. He bucks me off with another kick. Still, I keep my hold on it and pull harder. The fabric emanates warmth and I try not to think of the implications as I rip and I hear a tear. Oh god. As I fly back as the mask finally comes away, landing roughly on my back. Breathing sharply, I collapse back against the road. Holy shit. Once the hammering has resided in my chest a little, I slide unsteadily back to my feet. I can finally see his face, blood-soaked but intact. His eyes have rolled back in his head and his breathing is faint, but I can no longer hear his body shifting and breaking. It dawns on me that the kind of changes in his body have already gone through. I don't know even a little bit what this could mean for him. There's a ringing in my head as it starts to set in. I mean, he attacked me, but I can't imagine him deserving that. He just changed. I look back at the moon, but it makes the ringing louder, so I avert my gaze. Fucking Christ! The world feels like it's tilted on its axis as I look down at my own hands with the mask. Have I changed as well? Could that have happened to me if I hadn't taken my own mask off? The thought makes the sickness in my stomach nearly bubble over, and I take a deep breath of the night air. Should I call someone? What would I even say? My head is really spinning now, and I resist the urge to sit down. Oh shit. The sound is distant, but I feel as if we've been hollowed out. The rumble seeps into my bones as I look around for the source. Oh my god. Hi, Red. In the corner of my eye, I see it. Piercing yellow eyes stare back at me from the darkness. Horrible recognition swamps me. I know at once that this creature is Red. His lips curl as the snarl growls in volume, slowly stepping towards me from the shadows. As light is cast on him, I see the unmistakable tint of dark blood around his jaws. He moves with a predator's grace towards me. I flick my eyes down to blue, realizing I can't leave him like this. And as I look up, the wolf is even closer to me, moving silently across the road. I know I have to act, and I have no idea what to do. There's no way I can carry Blue anywhere, but he can't get himself away. I look back up at it. The muscles in its hulking form shift elegantly under the matted fur, its huge size becoming clearer every second. I realise there's nothing I can do for Blue. Turning, I run. Oh, Blue's been fucking eaten. My heart thumps against my ribcage, resisting clattering to the floor as I sprint away. I slam my foot back into my shoe as it nearly falls off. I don't hear anything behind me, panting filling my ears. Spots begin to appear in my eyes, so I'm forced to stop and lean against a building. I breathe heavily, memories of running away after throwing the rock flooding back to me. It feels like years ago, even though it can only have been an hour. The moon hangs heavily overhead, its sickly glow calling out to me again. I can hear a horrible rendering of flesh as it shines on me, shredded by sharp canines. I pound my fists against the wall until I can no longer hear it and sink down. I must be losing my mind. Deliriously, I close my eyes and see that blood-soaked maw. I think of Jack, and an epiphany comes to me. I don't know why, but I feel my core it was his blood. Shakily, I rise to my feet and an unknown sense of purpose begins to fill me. Red must have killed him. I know it. I don't feel tethered to reality anymore, but I know what has done this. Red must have gone back for his revenge. I already know I've left Blue to die. If I had just not done his sick prank or not fucked up the night in the first place, maybe none of this would have happened. Bro, this is not your fault. It's their fault, but it's not your fault. They're the ones that are bullies. They're the ones that are sick and experimenting on animals and doing weird fucking violent shit to each other. Ugh. I can't let people keep dying. I realize I'm going to need to kill that creature. I'm going to need to kill Red. My legs start to move without me, and I let them lead. I feel myself coming in and out of reality as I stumble around, Halloween decorations flickering in the dark. I need to find him again, and I'm concerned about what I'm going to see when I reach him. I hold in a retch as images of Blue flash in my memory. Unlike Red, I'm not used to getting into fights. I draw a small pocket knife out of my trouser pocket, warm from the proximity. Realistically, the blade is tiny. I got it as a gift, and I only really carry it out of habit and convenience. I try not to think about how I'm actually going to be using it as I flip out the blade and clutch the handle. Slowly, I stagger back into the street with Blue. I quickly avert my eyes as a large bloodied form catches my attention. I know exactly who it belongs to. I hold in a retch as I half walk, half run past it, seeing no sign of the wolf around. I start breathing again as I enter an alley nearby, almost pitch black in the darkness. Eventually, I realised I've nearly worked my way back to the field where our night began and quicken my pace towards it. My shoes crunch in the dewy grass, and I briefly hope I don't step in any dog shit. The thought seems ridiculous considering the circumstances, and I let out a slightly unhinged laugh. The bushes rustle to my side and I look over. I see the yellow of his eyes first. The predatory form stalks outwards from the tree line, canines glinting. I realise how hard I'm shaking as I see it drop some kind of fleshy mass from its jaws. Ugh. That was the rest of Blue. Ah! A childish scream rings out, and I twist to see a kid in a ghost costume turning and running down the street. Sweets fly from their plastic pumpkin basket as they sprint out of view. To be fair though, why is this child out alone? That's not okay. Yeah. I turn back around, seeing the wolf now significantly closer, maybe 3 meters away. I'm thankful it didn't chase after the kid. In a weird way, it seems to have jolted me out of my paralysis, and I sprint forwards. A snarl rips out, and the large beast charging forwards as well. Its large face collides with my arm as I twist out of the way at the last second. The wolf slams me back and I quickly refocus on the knife in my left hand. It turns to me again as I plant the blade into its shoulder, warm blood coating my fist. It yelps but keeps pushing forward anyway. I try to hold it back with one hand, my fingers releasing the knife. Hit! I realise how futile this is and try to throw it back, feeling a claw pierce somewhere around my belly button. I scream. Teeth clamp over my hand and I scream once more. In a fit of adrenaline, I wrap my hands around its thick neck and use all the strength I can summon. I slam its head down into the ground, feeling it go limp for a second and release my bloodied fist. Terror consumes me and I jump to my feet, the world hazy. I start to limp away, quickening into a sprint as I hear pounding behind me. The pain in my hand darts up my whole torso, feeling like an electric shock. As I reach the street, I realise I've got no idea what I'm doing, no possibility of outrunning this creature. The knife didn't slow it down even a little. Terror grows in my chest, but a bin to my left gives me an idea. Hearing the wolf right behind me, I reach out and grab. I stumble slightly as I pull down, but the bin clatters loudly to the floor behind me. The wolf slams into it, garbage spilling into the street. I take advantage of the brief distraction and turn sharply into another road. I have absolutely no direction, but something catches my attention. Strips of fabric lie in a heap along with... wait. A large dented bat sits among it. No way. I have no time to consider what led me here as I reach down and grab the bat, hearing snarling behind me. I swing, feeling metal collide with flesh. Another yelping snarl rings out, and I see the third body hit the floor. It recovers fast though, clawing back towards me. It moves faster than I expect, and the bat glances off as its teeth dig into my arm. I splutter and I scream, but it digs in further. I fall back and hear something tear, those teeth finally leaving my arm. Everything starts to fade, but I urge myself back to reality as it surges towards my face. It moves in slow motion as I feel myself swinging the bat towards it. It gets closer and closer and I hit first as it falls down, limp body flopping on top of me. I struggle to push it off, finally sliding my legs out from underneath it. As I stand up, I swing again. It twitches and brings up a paw to stand. I decide to hit it again to be sure, and again, and again. Everything goes still as I hit it again, seeing the colour truly leave its eyes this time. My head spins as I realise it might all actually be over. I feel like I've slipped into a different world without my knowing. I look over at it, its chest no longer raising and lowering as it breathes. I remember exactly what this "it" is. I laugh a little, feel sick, and throw up onto the street beside me. I sit down hard, feeling weakness throughout my whole body. Resting my head against the road, I watch the stars. I think of going back home, but I can't find the strength to move. A feeling of madness truly descends on me, and I realise something is really broken. I clamber up to my feet, clutching the bat limply in my hand. I ignore the feeling of warmth gushing over my arm. As I begin to walk away, I hear police sirens in the distance. Ending 2, fight back. Ooh. I feel like that's the only way we were actually gonna survive. It'll be interesting to see what the other one is though. I think everyone did a very good job on this game. I love the visuals and it oddly looks like a British street, so maybe it's set in Britain. I'll have to get that clarified because I don't know. Yes! Thank you. Thank you for watching too. So guys, that was what I believe was the good ending, or as good as it can get. Let me know your thoughts on this, and if you want to see ending 1, which I assume is where we turn into the werewolf creature ourselves too. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and what would you have done? I'll see you in the next video. Bye!